The recording has started. Thank you.
Be quiet, Alexa.
Okay, so I'm looking at the minutes, and if we can call to order. And so we have the agenda will be the call to order, the roll call, and approval of the meeting minutes for May and June. So do I have a second person to start the meeting?
No, you start the meeting, Ms. Ferguson. You called it to order.
Yes.
You asked the members to introduce themselves.
Okay.
But let me do this first.
Thank you.
Thank you for that. No, I'm just thanking you for this is your first meeting.
Yes.
I wanted the members to know that you're new to this. You are a new member on the board. And I want to thank you for accepting this position to chair the Block Association committee. As I said to you, I'll be here to guide you and assist until the board hires someone to fill this this slot. So you start the meeting, you ask everyone to introduce themselves, and you just go according to the agenda.
Okay.
Okay?
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you.
Okay. So if everyone can introduce themselves, please.
Good evening. I'll start. My name is Leonie Logan. I'm the block for Zero Progressive Block Association between Farragut and Glenwood Roads.
Good evening, Miss Leonie.
Good evening to you and welcome.
Thank you.
Good evening, everyone. I'm Edwin Joseph, and I am from the Black Association of East 37 Foster ND. We are.
Did everyone just introduce themselves so we could move forward with the meeting?
Hello, good evening. Can you hear me?
I am hearing you now. Who is speaking?
Miss Joseph.
I am Edwin Joseph. I am from the Black Association of East 37 between Foster and Avenue D. We are a new Black Association begin this year, so we are happy to be part of the meeting.
I'll go next. My name is Daryl Holland. I'm from the Business Outreach Center Network. I'm actually manage the industrial business zone, which is part of this area. And I'm on the transportation committee, and I've been absent for a long time. And I'm getting back in the fold to find out what's going on and how I can be helpful. I'm what's called an industrial business zone service provider. I work with manufacturing and industrial businesses primarily in Canarsie and East New York. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Holland.
Hi, good evening. My name is Andre. I'll do my video so you guys can see me. Good evening. My name is Andre Beckford. I'm a resident East 37th Street between Glenwood and Farragut.
Hello, Mr. Beckford.
Good evening. I'm Janique Williams, the Block Association president for East 32nd, Tilden, and Beverly. I'm excited to hear what's new for the Block Association this year, because I know that because of COVID, a lot of events and stuff couldn't really happen, and we're trying to get back up and running somewhat. So I'm excited to hear any events or activities that you all want to share.
So thank you, everyone, for joining. Like I said, I am a new chairperson, so I'm sort of feeling my way. So bear with me if I sort of do things that are not in the correct way. You know, I'm trying to learn as I go along, a little bit about myself. I'm very excited to be a part of this Black Association of this neighborhood. I've worked in this neighborhood at SUNY Downstate as a assistant director of nursing there. I live in the neighborhood on 21 St. Paul's Court. My mom is around there, so I'm very excited and passionate, and I have a lot of ideas about how I would like to for the Black Association to move forward. But more importantly, I would like to get your ideas, your concerns. What would you like? And see how I can incorporate that into my vision for the Black Association. I want to know what is it that the residents and the community thinks that are important. We have a lot of different sub committees, social services, rezoning, different things like that. So I want to be a part also of those, committees, so that if whatever you're looking for, you need from me, you can let me know, and I can then come back and sort of be your voice into what your concerns are, what the needs are. I'm thinking about probably if there's any concerns with social services. I'm very passionate about healthcare, and this the disabled communities, of the disabled citizens in the zones. So I'm sort of I'm thinking about getting the resources, finding out about the resources, so that you can go back to your communities with that information. So I think this meeting today, if everyone is sort of in agreement, because I sort of want to not run it sort of, well, okay, this is what I'm doing and this is what it is, but sort of just get a lot of feedback and working as a group and hearing what it is that you would like from me in terms of what you want, what you're looking for from the Black Association, so I can get my notes down, write it, write down what the needs are, how you want this group to go. So then the next meeting that we have, I'll be, I'll have more, information and be more prepared to address your needs as it goes along. Um, is everyone in agreement with that? Would anyone like to start to let me know what it is they would like from the Black
Oh, yeah.
Association, what their
Hi.
concerns are?
Yes, hi. It's Janique Williams again. I'm very excited to hear you speak with so much enthusiasm about what the community needs and wants, because that's really important that we understand that the Black Association is about all of us coming together and working as a community with sanitation, with helping the elderly when it comes to voting. I'm personally trying to try to do a community outreach in October for Breast Cancer Awareness Month, because I am a mammographer and I want to educate the community about the importance of breast cancer and the importance of screening mammograms. That's one of the things that I sent the email out to Farah Lewis and Ranish Bashard today to try to see, how I can help, or if I can have my supervisor set up something where we can just get flyers, get booklets, set up appointments, and patients can come and see me during the weekends. I usually work Saturday and Sunday on Brooklyn Avenue at Lenox Hill Radiology. So that's one of the things. And also just trying to get everyone to understand that a block association cannot and is not about a dictatorship. It's not about one family running a block association. It's not about intimidation and harassment of other neighbors on the block and starting drama. It's really, I think people need to really understand what the importance of a block association is, because I think that's getting caught out there with a lot of people's egos, and they're not understanding why this is important and why we need it in our community. So education, education, education of the community so that they understand their rights and understand, their laws, and you have to do things the right way. You have to follow rules. You can't just do a block association and worry about a block party every year. Like some people on my block are worried about a block party every year. But 365 days, you don't hear from them. No one, nothing. People can pass away on this block and you don't hear from them. In the middle of the pandemic, I was pregnant. I couldn't work in healthcare. There were no PPE loads, so I just had to do what I had to do. I went, I got food from the food pantries and hand delivered groceries to all of my neighbors on my block. These people don't understand. This is what a block association is about. It's about being able to step in when, you know what, it doesn't matter. I have a big family, but when it hits the fan, guess what? Your neighbor next door is who you calling. That's who you ringing the bell. That's where your arm could reach. So, we have to learn to live back in the sense of community. Thank you all. I
Thank
yield
you.
for that.
Thank you, Ms. Williams, for speaking on that. I was writing down some notes as you were saying. So I'm getting a sense of education is important to you. Outreach is important to you. Family is important to you. Um, uh, I can definitely assist in some of those areas with the outreach. SUNY Downstate, for example, on Sunday is having an outreach. If I believe from 10 to 4, if you would be interested in coming, down there and letting a lot of your Block members know, that would definitely be a good resource for you. I know I met with a few of the council people when we had our meetings, and they were also very excited about outreach and having different resources, especially in the winter time coming up. With heating issues, I'm sure, that sort of thing. So I will definitely reach out to them and find out some more information. I'm also big on community outreach and education. So I think definitely, we can, I can definitely try to bring that sort of, passion that you have with your assistance and with all of our assistance, of course, into the Block Association. Would anybody else like to speak and let me know what they're looking for from this organization?
Hi, yes, this is Leonie Logan. My block, as I mentioned, is on East 40th between Farragut and Glenwood Roads. And I definitely agree with Miss Williams in terms of block parties. That's not the emphasis. My block residents are, I would say, we have about 85 to 90% seniors on the block. And so we've gone past the block party stage. What we now do is we do a day for the kids on the block, and we close the block so that the kids can run up and down, they ride their bikes, do whatever it is. So that's the emphasis that we've placed on just, a day for the kids. Because the residents on our block are mostly seniors, our total emphasis is getting the resources for quality of life. A few years ago, we were fortunate to get a young man who does snow removal. And so we made an agreement with him, and we have a sign up that we do at the start of the fall where this young man will be able to do snow removal at a minimal cost for these seniors. I think what we need to do as a block association is to try to reach out to a snow removal company, because that's not only a problem on my block, it's a problem within Community Board 17, because a lot of the homeowners who live in this community are people who bought their houses years ago and are now seniors. And so it's a problem. So I think one thing as a suggestion we can focus on with the Block Association is to reach out to possibly see maybe we can reach out to snow removal companies and maybe get some kind of an agreement where the Community Board 17 will have a snow removal company who would be able to provide snow removal service at a minimum for residents. That's my number one priority. The second one is Access-a-Ride. You have so many seniors who don't take advantage of Access-a-Ride because they feel they don't qualify for it. So we need to have some kind of a major drive to get education to these seniors so that they can qualify for Access-a-Ride and have Access-a-Ride. We have a speeding problem throughout Community Board 17. Our block has reached out with a letter to Councilmember Lewis to try to see if we could have four-way stop signs throughout the blocks, starting from Albany Avenue. My block is on East Fortune between Farragut and Glenwood. If we had the four-way stop signs on Glenwood, starting from Albany, going all the way to the junction, and the same thing on Farragut Road, it would be a big hindrance. They have it in Marine Park. We don't have it over in this community. This is something we need. And lastly, in terms of voting, as Ms. Williams mentioned, what we also need is transportation for the seniors to get to voting polls. On my block, they did something which I think is really stupid, in that the right-hand side of the block votes at one polling station and the left-hand side votes at a different polling station, which is totally ridiculous. The one that's on my side with the odd and the even numbers, my house number is an odd number. So I vote on East 45th, the junior high school, where a lot of seniors are forced to go. What we did was, my husband and I, we own a minivan. So we've been transporting the seniors during the voting period to get them to the voting polls. This is something our elected officials should be able to do. And when we had Mr. Perry, I reached out to Mr. Perry to see if we could get that, and also to the district leaders. That's something we need. That's my little say. Hopefully we can get some things done. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Ms. Logan. I was like writing down some notes as you were speaking, and so I'm thinking and it ties in with what Ms. Williams was also saying in terms of education. Your focus is a little bit different, as your area, your population is with the senior citizens. So we're thinking more along the social outreach, the snow removal. I will
Yeah,
speak
my block
to.
as well too, with the elderly, because my grandmother's 102 and she owns 2 properties in the area. Majority of our neighbors here are all elderly people. If they haven't passed
Okay.
away or moved away, the investors are coming in and renovating the home. So 1.1 million, and you're just looking at them. So I don't want to make it emphasize like it's a younger crowd, or senior citizen. I think, like I can't remember her name, just spoke before me, said that it's about quality of life, and that's really what it's about: a quality of life and safety. Everyone should be safe and have the quality of life, regardless of the,
I,
the age and stuff. But the accessibility, they definitely need that.
Absolutely. I will reach out to my colleague who is on the committee for sanitation, and see if I can mention to him about the snow. I'm not sure with the snow removal company, but I can definitely see what they have in the works out there in terms of the snow removal for when the winter months are coming. The speeding bumps, I'm not sure what's involved in that. Like I said, I am new to this, but I promise you I will definitely find out and do the best I can with all of us working together. The voting is seems a little bit kind of I don't know if I'm allowed to say ridiculous in terms of the different voting stations and the transportation, but maybe we can also try to arrange for the long distance for the seniors to get to the polling station. I don't see that as being something that's totally unreasonable, but like I said, I am learning. I will find out, I will present, I will ask questions as you, put it, to me. Also with the education for the seniors, I was thinking about healthcare as well, Medicare, letting them know as well about Medicare, services, reaching out to my colleague who deals with the Committee on Social Services to find out some information about that as well, so I can reach back to you, Miss Leone, in moving forward. So thank you so much. Do we have anyone else?
Hi, good afternoon, good evening. It's Edwin Joseph. As I mentioned earlier, I am very new to this. We just started a new Black Association on East 37 between Foster and D. I can relate to a lot of the issues that the two members that spoke earlier brought forward. On my block, we have a mixed group, so we have a very young population, also a very elderly population. They bought the house like years ago. Um, we're having a lot of issues with cars parked on our street, like that people doesn't move their cars at all. We're having a lot of buses from the school buses parking on our block. We're having a lot of issues with safety issues when it comes to the light on the street. Some of them are not working. Some of them, like are blocked by the trees. So the elderly population, like when they come to our meeting, they complain that they feel unsafe working on the block in the dark. So those are the things I email Miss Lewis office, and I email um someone else, I forgot the name, regarding the trees and regarding the lights. I know we went to Mr. Kevin Parker's office. Until now nobody did anything. We call about the vehicles parked on the street for months, no one get back to us. So for us on our block is mainly a safety issue when it comes to, working in dark streets. And then the stop sign. So they finally put a light on Foster and 37 by the school, which was really helpful. But the main issue that we have now is the exit on 37 and Avenue D, which is very dangerous for us when we're driving down the block because Brooklyn Avenue is there and the cars are coming. You really can't see, and those are the main issues that we have. For me, what I'm looking into this board is for guidance because I'm really new to this. I'm trying to get anybody that been doing this for a long time that can kind of guide us, tell us like how do we proceed with certain things. So I'm having a little hard time getting people to find people that's been doing this for a long time. So I'm kind of happy to be on this group. So maybe I can hear from you guys and see how I can proceed. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Joseph. So you're new just like me. So we're new together.
Yeah,
Um,
we are.
we're new together, but you know what? We have a lot of experience in people that we will rely on. We'll ask. I will ask a lot of questions. Like I said, I promise that I will, find out information, find out where, find out what, find out how, find out why, and relate all of the concerns that are put with to me, to my other board members, and find out, I'm big on policy, what we can and cannot do, and if we can't do it, why we can't do it, and how do we need to at least move forward in doing so. So again, like I said, I'm writing notes. I see safety, I see sanitation again with the stop signs. I'm not sure why the school buses have to be parking on the block there whilst they wait for the kids. I'm sure
And
they.
right now I just passed on the bus, so I'm not coming home because I'm on the call. I'm driving. And there's like seven buses. That's on the seven school buses that is parked on the street right now.
Yeah,
But,
I
with other
that
cars.
makes no sense.
With other cars that are parked, like we know we have parks that are parked for like months, like
Hmm.
4 months. And sanitation pass, they don't give them a ticket. And I'm always like, so I'm like, oh, if I park on the street like one day, like on the street cleaning day, they'll give me a ticket. And those cars been on the block for like 5, 6, 7 months, and they never get a ticket. They never get towed. And I'm like, okay, so what? I don't understand. You know,
I
so it's
I think
very,
I'm going to have
it's very frustrating.
I think I'm going to have a long conversation with the chairperson on the sanitation because I see that there is a lot of issues that the members are bringing up in terms of that, and you're absolutely right. And parking is an issue, safety is an issue with the cars not having the street lights and the exit signs. So of course all valid issues. Why the grass is growing and blocking the stuff is also a sanitation issue. So you're new like me, and you're looking for guidance, and as well as I am. But I am, like I said, I will be reaching out to the people that have the experience, and moving forward, like I said, I'll get the information, I'll find out why and what can be done, and we'll move together as a board. Thank you so much, Miss Joseph.
Thank
Anyone
you
else?
so much.
Thanks. Anyone else?
Yeah, sure. I'd like to speak. This is Andre Beckford. I'm really encouraged with everything that I've heard. I'm sorry, I didn't see someone had their hand up. Allison Martinez, do you want to go? I don't know if you put your hand up before or after.
Hi. Sorry, I'm in the street. I was just listening. I'm sorry I wasn't able to hear the beginning of the conversation, but when it comes to the snow removal, you should ask the council member's office for contact for Wildcats. That's usually who had a senior list for dealing with snow removal for senior citizens in the community. When it comes to the vehicles who are parking, you need to figure out who your neighborhood coordinating officer is, and you can schedule calls for them to come and provide some support in talking to neighbors, or if it's a business that has cars. A lot of times there are a lot of automotive businesses that have cars in disrepair parked all over the place. But the NCOs can help with car removal depending on the value of the car. Sanitation can do it if it's a car that doesn't have a lot of value. When it comes to the traffic lights and all those things, there's a link on the Department of Transportation's website that I could follow up and send. You input that in there. Granted, there's a 3-month study for traffic changes, but if you let them know about traffic lights, that stuff can be done pretty quickly. And then you follow up with, and depending on where you live, it would probably be Ms. Messer, who's responsible for Department of Transportation for this area. But it depends on where you live. But those are the ways that you can get a response. And if you have your neighbors call 311 first, and then you gather all those confirmation numbers, then you get more of a response. That's all I wanted to share.
All right, thank you.
Thank you so
Welcome.
much, Ms. Martinez. Appreciate it. So I know Mr. Beckford, and then I saw J.L. James, and then Janique Williams in that order, if that's okay with everyone. Mr. Beckford, thank you so much.
Yeah, sure. So thank you for that, and good evening, everyone. I'm definitely encouraged with what I'm hearing. It sounds like everyone wants to take part and, improve their communities. I just want to back up for a moment, and I just want to put a question out there to Natalie and to Ms. Frazier. You don't have to answer it now, but are we going to get a list of who all is on the call today, and maybe a brief bio, first name, last name, what they, where they represent and so forth. And also, can we receive, and because this is my first time in this meeting, so can we receive, like a mission statement, a vision, or are we going to collectively work on that and then devise a mission, and a vision, so we could understand what the shared values and goals are. The one thing I want to say, that I hear, I've heard a theme across the board is social services. What we're looking at is sanitation, transportation, social, city services, public health, public safety, and other items. And the one thing that's lacking in the Black and Brown communities, which are represented here, is a unified voice. I know when I went to school many years ago at South Shore, a Jewish teacher used to tell me one of the things that they did years ago, this was before the computer, is they would all, someone would write one letter and they would share that with every citizen, every person in the community. And that letter would go to, city, state, officials, listing out their demands or what they want, but it would come from a unified voice. So, my question would be, how do we keep people engaged? How do we encourage or persuade people to be a part in their community and to improve the quality of life? Because a lot of things that I see in the community is, the Black and brown communities are being taken advantage of, right? Because we don't have a unified voice, right? And we don't have a political voice, but we have a lot of economic power. You look at the junction, right? There's a lot of money spent there. If you look at BLS, the Bureau of Labor Statistics, or Census Bureau, you look at the amount of money we spend there, it's millions, and it's been like that for years, but we get no support from those businesses on social issues. There are times in these communities that they have certain fruit and vegetable stands that never hired anyone from the community, not Black or brown, right? They don't even hire people in the community. So all of the money is being exfiltrated out, right, and enriching other communities. But, I would love to, learn more about how can we, keep people engaged, right, and also encourage people to stay engaged. And one of the things that you said, Natalie, at the beginning is feedback, right? And we need to do, I would recommend, getting a lot of feedback, doing a lot of surveys, to get that feedback from citizens. And it's got to be quick and short because people don't have time. They're moving quick. So, if we could figure out a way to, maybe post something online, a quick survey to get some feedback on, what are the top issues in communities, and then start dealing with the issues from there. I've gotten a lot of, response and feedback from the city when I make complaints directly to the mayor's office of operations. I look at the junction and it's always filthy. Those businesses have a responsibility to clean up in front of their businesses, but they don't, because there's no one complaining about it. So things like that, sanitation, clean streets, safety, I go directly there because a lot of times I don't get the response that I need from 311. So I go to the mayor's office of operations. So, sharing amongst this group here, where the best place to go to communicate concerns, and how can we do it as a unified voice as opposed to, one person, Leon Logan, or, Janique Williams, as opposed to one or two people. We need to have a unified voice so people listen to us, respect us when we speak, because we're speaking as many. So I don't know, maybe some of what you heard was complaints and just me griping. I apologize, but hopefully you get the gist of where I'm coming from, and I look forward to being a part of this community and conversation, to help improve our communities and make it better for everyone, young and old. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you so much, Mr. Beckford. So in the interest of time, I'm going to let I think Janique had her hands up, followed by Ms. Martinez, and then J.L. James. Thank you so much again, Mr. Beckford. Ms. Williams, you had your hand up. You wanted to speak. Thanks.
Yes. Hello, everyone again. I'm very vocal and very passionate about my block. And when I say my block, I mean my block. I have been born and raised in this house. I've been here for 39 years, and it saddens me when you see all of these things happening. And it's really true what Mr. Bedford said about getting everyone together, because it is on my block, it's up the block versus down the block. I had plenty block association meetings. We have them, I take minutes and everything, everyone signs, puts their email and everything, and then afterwards there's a mini meeting up the block. And then it becomes to, guess what? I'm gonna go file for a block party permit. I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna do that. And then it's like, right now it's in shambles. But I have a block cleanup day coming up in the fall. I have the breast cancer thing that I have planned. You know, I'm just like at this point, honestly, everyone wants to be in our neighborhood. Everyone wants the culture. Everyone loves the food. Everyone loves the music. Everyone loves the blackness of the neighborhood. Let's be honest. That's what it is. And I want to keep that, you know. And there are some people, same race, different race, whatever, and they come into the community and they don't want to be part of a community. They don't know how to work well with others, you know. And I really think that this meeting tonight, after this, maybe we can do some kind of an outreach, you know, just block association, or I know Rep Your Block usually sends me emails. They usually have stuff, but they're more political. You know, I think we should do some more of a grassroots kind of movement where, like you said, before the computers, Mr. Beckford, we can get a flyer and put, you know what do you want, and make surveys for all our blocks, you know. I personally have a printer. You can go to the library and they can help you. We can print it out, and everybody's block, make a survey. You want more trees, you want this, you want that, and let people vote that way. Because people, I don't know, they don't want to come together. Everyone wants to be divided, but everyone wants something done. A tree branch fell the other day. Instead of everybody just calling, everybody's just looking at the tree branch. I called 311. They came, cut it up, pruned the whole tree. Everything's fine. Today there was a big storm. No branches fell. You know, like it's like this is what we need to focus on, because every decision matters. Everything that we do today, you know, my decisions of my grandparents and my parents are what have me, you know, where I am today. And if I don't do that for my 4 children that I'm raising here, then what? You know, so I really think it's more of a grassroots movement. And this is a great, beautiful beginning of the conversations that we need to have. You know, we can have these young men. We have a lot of young men and young women like myself, my husband, are ready and willing and able to assist and volunteer and, you know, go and plow each other's sidewalks, you know, and whatever, and offer, you know what, set up a table. We can have offer coffee, we can give hot chocolate, you know what I mean, whatever, just, and donuts, just to have people encouraged and bring back that sense of community. I think that's, you know, that's the gist of it for tonight.
Thank you, Miss Williams. Miss Martinez, and then JL James.
Good evening to everyone again. I wanted to formally introduce myself as Allison Martinez. I'm co-founder of a nonprofit called Brooklyn Level Up, and we actually started from being co-chairs actually of the land use committee at the time for CD17. But part of that then led us to doing this work supporting community, working towards the community land trust and supporting small businesses in the community. And one of the projects that we're working on that really focuses on community action, especially in light of the things that I'm hearing tonight, is we're working on a NYC Civic Engagement Commission project called for citywide participatory budgeting. But this time around is for expenses, which is the workshops, the programs that the community says that it needs. Not looking at what the city normally spends its money on, but having really targeted efforts to have community be at the table deciding and voting on how funding gets spent borough-wide, and specifically within the East Flatbush community, which is one of the identified communities that faces inequity. So I would really like to partner with this committee to work on some community idea visioning sessions between now and November 9th. So if that's something that you would be willing to work on with our organization, we would welcome it so that we can really get a sense that people feel like they're connected and that their decisions and their opinions matter, which is definitely something we need to do differently. So let me know how that works, and I will put my information in the chat nonetheless. But I will also follow up with people about how best to address some of those issues that you brought up, because they happen everywhere throughout the community, but we have to pool resources and knowledge together to make sure that we're making a difference for where we live, and so people can stay here and feel quality of life is what they want it to be. So that's it. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you so much. JL James.
Hi, good evening. I'm a member of Community Board 17, and I'm also the chair of the rezoning committee. I just wanted to extend an invitation to everyone who would have an interest in rezoning to attend our meeting next Tuesday evening at 7:30. Um, I think it's Janique Williams who mentioned about community, and I was talking to someone today who mentioned like in all other communities, there is a sense of community, and that's what we're lacking here. And we really have to come together as a community if we're going to save this community and ensure we have any wealth, intergenerational wealth to pass on to the next generation. So I commend everyone who came out tonight, and I look forward to seeing as many of you next Tuesday at 7:30. If you need the link, you can always call up the board's office and have them send you the agenda. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Ms. James, and I will definitely be there. So, just to move forward a little bit and to reiterate what the sense, I think I've sort of gotten a sense of what everyone is looking for and hoping for. And like I said, I have to find out. I love what Mr. Beckford said about the bio of everyone. Again, like I said, I'm new to this, so a lot of right now my answer is I don't know, but I will find out, because I do not know everything, but what I do know I will pass on, and what I don't know I will find out and I will relay. The mission and vision statement, absolutely. And that was one of the reasons why I sort of wanted to get a sense of what everyone's concern was, so that, the mission and vision was not what I was seeing, but to sit down and think about it and say, well, okay, this is our board. It's about us. What are they looking for? And I get a sense of outreach, of community, of education, of a united front, of empowering ourselves and each other, all good things. And I'm looking forward um to working with each and every one of us to make that happen, because the reality is we are the ones that will have to do it, have to make the effort to make the change in our communities. And uh, so that is what I would be trying to, trying to follow my agenda, would be setting the agenda for future meetings. I'm not sure exactly if that is a format, but the agenda for future meetings will be, I think, just reiterating on this, returning information. Anybody wants to go to the rezoning committee, we have the sanitation committees, the different committees. I will definitely be in these committees, mentioning the concerns, the social services committee, reaching out to people that have more experience than me, and relaying the concerns and the information, so that I can come back and say, well, this is what I found. What do you need from me? What more? What can I do to help? What do you think is a good idea? What information that we can have to help our Black and Brown communities? And I think basically that's it. I see two hands up. So I'm not sure who was first. I do apologize. Janique Williams and JL James. We can, if you want to mention anything.
Oh no, I think my hand is just
Oh,
up from
okay.
before. But thank you so much.
So I think that's it. What I intend to do is, like I said, I love the fact with the mission and vision statement, Mr. Beckford. I really, your shared goals, the united voice. I think it all ties into what everyone was saying. education, safety, our elderly community, finding out about transportation and services. Thank you so much, Miss Martinez, for the information about the traffic lights and the police and for the car removal information. I will definitely get more information about that um, and moving forward. So,
Ms. Ferguson, and just,
ew,
sorry,
I
I
don't know
just
what
want to add one thing. I just want to, as we
Sure.
have these conversations and we raise these, conversations up to our elected officials, we have to talk about getting our money's worth for our tax dollars and our consumer dollars. Businesses cannot continue to get our consumer dollars without supporting us on social issues. If you're doing business in the community or getting money from our demographic, you have to support us on social issues. So I think we have to pick up the torch where Martin Luther King left it off and he started to talk about economics, right? We have to talk about the economics that we bring in because we do
I
power.
I agree with you,
We
Mr.
do have
Beckford.
power, but we have to leverage that power, in a unified voice and say, this is what we want. This is what we demand.
I
We spend
absolutely agree.
$1 trillion every year, $1 trillion. We buy more Cadillacs and Mercedes-Benz than any other demographic, black and brown. Don't believe me? Do the research.
I agree with you, Mr. Beckford, 100%. I mean, and I like I said, I definitely have to find, to find out. I don't see why, if we have issues, why we can't decide as a community to at least start having discussions, and letting our elected officials know these are the concerns that we have. I see no, I don't see an issue with that, and hopefully working with Ms. Martinez, who's the co-founder of the Civil Engagement, we can all work together. Like I said, I'm new to this, so I am not sure, about the what ifs and all of those other legalities, but I will find out. I am, I am very pro, I'm very pro my people. I'm very pro senior all people, but more so for senior citizens and for special needs adults. My son is a special needs a child, so I'm always advocating for him. So, and as a nurse at SUNY Downstate, I advocate for my patients. So I intend to bring that same, passion and zeal to this. And, if we work together as a team, I think the Black Association of Community Board 17, I want it to be, the best yet, not just with parties and stuff, which is good too, but more so of a force to help our young teenagers, young adults, as well as the elderly and the special needs, so we can all, thrive to the best of our ability. Moving forward, like I said, I will, find out what I can and cannot do. Definitely think about the mission and vision statement, the reach out, find out about the, I know the Social Services Committee is having a meeting coming up. I'll definitely be there and mention these concerns. So I will have a lot more information for our next meeting. And if there's nothing else, okay, Miss Edwin Joseph, and then I think that's it. Miss Joseph?
Just one thing, Miss Ferguson.
Sure.
I am also a nurse, so I'm glad to see nurses on the line.
Eh,
I'm a nurse educator. I work for Health and Hospital. But just one quick thing, like, I know we
Sure.
mentioned a lot of things. One of the things that I mean, I don't know, I'm always driving, I don't know if somebody mentioned it, but we don't have no pharmacy in our neighborhood. Like the last pharmacy that was on Avenue D, closed down a few months ago. So the elderly population that live in this neighborhood don't have no pharmacy. They have to go all the way to Flatbush Avenue to get their prescription filled.
Oh my
So
goodness.
talking about social issues, you will have a lot of social issues.
Okay,
So
so no,
Hi, this is
okay,
Leonie Logan. Sorry to interrupt. This is one of the things too that Council Member Lewis is supposed to be working on from her office, because it was brought up to her in one of the precinct council meetings. By the way, I'm on the 67 precinct community council. I'm the vice president on that precinct council, and it was brought up at one of the meetings, and that this is supposed to be one of her focus as well.
okay, so maybe she needs to be reminded about it,
Yes,
because if it's one of her
yes.
focus,
If I may, Ms. Ferguson, this is Ms. Frazier.
yes.
Yes, the council member is working in collaboration with the community board. Both she and I have been, we spoke to the CEO of Pathmark. That was one of our first choices because there was a pharmacy at the Pathmark supermarket on Albany
Ah,
behind the board's office. And we are actually focusing on bringing back a pharmacy there. So she is in communication with
oh, great.
the owner of Pathmark. The other thing I would like to comment on, I do not jump into meetings. I allow chairpersons to handle their meeting, but I understand you're relatively new.
Yes,
Any comment or suggestion that I could offer, I would jump in and do it until you get yourself, until you familiarize yourself with the whole process. So we're
thank you.
currently working on our capital and expense budget, and I heard Mr. Beckford talked about the three pressing issues in our community. I am hoping that one on this in the meeting this evening received our email asking community residents to submit the three pressing issues in our community, because next month at the general community board meeting, we are mandated to vote on our capital and expense budget and also our needs statement, which the chairperson of the budget committee, Mr. Asher Cunningham, has been working on for quite some time. So if you have not received that email asking you to submit the three pressing issues in your area, please, everyone should have my email. Please shoot me an email, maybe tonight, tomorrow, and I will forward that to you so that you can submit it. The budget committee will be reviewing all submissions and present to the full board for a vote at the October meeting. I just wanted to comment on those two um, issues that I overheard in everyone's comment. The other things that Miss Williams, I think is her name, talked about, Ms. Janique Williams. And for those who have been on the board for quite some time, Ms. Logan, we have a saying that the Block Association is the lifeblood of our community. And 20 plus years ago, we had over 100 to 200 Block associations registered with Community Board 17. We have really evolved. And if we look around at our population, we see there's an influx of Manhattan residents moving back into our communities because the rent is a little cheaper here in East Flatbush. And then these mass infrastructure that's coming into our community, they're taking advantage of it because they have the jobs and they can afford to pay the 2,000 plus um, dollars per month in rental as opposed to the 4,000 plus in Manhattan. So I commend Ms. James, who took on this awesome responsibility of starting to really focus more on this rezoning process. And I would hope that everyone on the Block Association would join this committee because that's what it's about. It's about the community, and whatever is affecting the community is going to affect our blocks. It's not about us having this big, beautiful white picket fence. When we exit that fence, we're dealing with the community issue. So thank you all for being here. I'm going to shut up and just yield the floor back to, to Ms. Ferguson. But I really wanted to make a comment because the capital and expense budget, I said it last night during our board meeting. It is so important to our community. The submissions, our elected officials look at the capital and expense budget that we submit. They allocate funding for some of the requests that we make. So it's important for the community to participate. Thank you again.
Thank you so much, Miss Frazier. Thank you. I can't I appreciate it so much. So Miss Janique, 3 minutes, please, for I see your hands up, and then I think we'll just after, if you can speak just for 3 minutes, and then we can close off after that. Thank you so much.
Okay, I just wanted to ask, when is the next community board meeting for the 6-7 precinct?
Uh, There are two different kinds of meeting. There is a community board meeting that is the third Wednesday in every month from September to June. And there is a precinct community council meeting. That's the third Thursday in the month from September to June.
Okay. And can you tell me the time, please? And maybe is that the precinct, both of them?
It used to be at the precinct, but now the meeting is being held at one of the schools, and I'm not
Okay.
sure there that that's going to be a constant. The meeting starts at 7:30 p.m. and the community board meeting starts at 7 p.m.
Okay. Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
So thanks, everyone. Again, Miss Frazier, thank you again. This is my, like I've been saying, this is my first chairperson meeting. So, I do apologize for if I'm doing things a little bit out of the norm, but I do appreciate, I think I'm very excited. I appreciate the opportunity given to me for this. Please, all the other committees that are out there, the rezoning, like Ms. Frazier said, the budget committee, let's all, you guys can, if you can attend it, please do so. My goal is to attend those as well, so that I can keep the members who cannot attend, up to date when next we meet. And I think now, with that being said, we can adjourn. Now, how do I do that? I'm so sorry. Do I first and ask for a
Motion.
second?
Yeah, you asked for a motion to adjourn,
Oh,
Ms. Ferguson.
thank you. I ask for a motion to adjourn, if that's okay with everyone.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. Oh, and me second. Okay. Thank
Who
you,
made the
Mr.
mo-
Beckford.
Please say your name for the record when you make a motion,
Oh, okay.
and
Oh, I'm
then you
so sorry.
second. So
Again,
who's
I
making the motion,
apologize.
please state your name.
Andre
Natalie,
Beckford.
I motion.
Ms. Ferguson, you cannot motion.
Oh,
Yeah, one of the, I think Mr. Beckford, motion to adjourn the meeting, and we're waiting for a second.
Leonie Logan seconding.
Thank you. Okay, Ms. Ferguson, you could have the last say.
okay. Thank you guys so much. I really do appreciate everyone was I really do appreciate the board. And like I said, I have everything written down. I will definitely do my best, and let's all work together, work together. I will, whatever support, I'm here. And thank you all so much. And everyone, please have a good night.
Thank you. Good night.
Thank you. Good
Thank
night.
you.
Good night.
Good night,
Thank you.
everyone.
Good night.
Thank
Not everyone.
Good night. Good night.